All right, all right, all right. All right, it's been a minute since I went live on Facebook. I mean, not Facebook. Look at me. So used to going live on Facebook. It's been a minute since I went live on YouTube. Trying to get the lighting a little bit right, so that way I can be seen. All right, y'all see the title. Y'all see the title. Cunning tricks of the enemy and what to look out for. Cunning tricks of the enemy and what to look out for. I'm actually, right now, I'm actually at my dance class, dance sessions. I've been trying to make it a plan to be intentional with getting back to doing things, for myself, because that's what you got to do in this life. Especially when you are chosen, you have to find things that bring you comfort, bring you joy, bring you peace. And, you have to take advantage of that, like when you have the opportunities to. So that's basically what I'm getting ready to do in probably about 30 minutes or so. I'm taking a class tonight, aerobics class tonight. Like I've said before on certain videos of mine, you just got to keep moving. You got to keep going. You got to keep going. The enemy will try to hinder you in certain ways, with that, like a slickness to it. It's not something that is going to be ever made obvious. It's never going to be made obvious. What people got to understand is when the enemy starts to loom and lurk and monitor, especially if they are paying attention to your posts and your stories, your videos, different things that you begin to speak out loud, different things that you begin to, make it a point that, hey, I'm not going to be silent anymore about certain things. I'm going to be vocal about the things I've gone through, my testimony, my story, my journey, my chosen one journey, especially. Lord knows we all have had them. People are going to try to show you something different. People are going to try their best to change up who they want you to see, because it's like they don't want, because you said certain things, they don't want to look like what you're talking about on posts or on videos, or if you're, sharing certain stories. They're very, very mindful of the fact that, hey, I don't want to be who he or she is talking about. And what people fail to realize is when people are spiritually as inclined as we are, there's not going to be much that you're going to have to do. I've said this on previous videos, and I'm going to say it again on this one. There's not going to be much that you're going to have to do, because God has already spoken to us about what to look out for and what to be mindful of when it comes to certain people and certain energy. So trying to play a role, so to speak, and trying to act a certain way, so to speak, that is going to deter us from paying attention to you. Because if God has already spoken, then we've pretty much gotten our answer as far as what we need to be looking out for. And we take our relationship with God extremely seriously. See, we don't play with it. See, we get distracted. Don't get me wrong. We get distracted as chosen ones, being out here, being in this world and of this world. We are human too, so we get distracted. We get distracted with people, places, things. We get distracted with, just daily life, everyday life, to where we have to be pulled in different directions, and we cannot really fully saturate when it comes to our relationship with God. But when we really get to the point where we know, hey, this is what's going on, we feel a shift in energy, we can tell, we know, because of past situations that we have had to make ourselves aware of, and the lessons that we learned from those, the things that we were taught. When certain energy starts to become more prevalent and more present around us, those are the times that we pay attention the most. You know, the enemy is never going to come around you, and this is what I need people to be mindful of. The enemy is never going to come around you, and he's never going to like lash out right away, if that makes sense. The enemy is never going to do things intentionally. The enemy's job, the enemy's sole job is for you to not see them coming, for you to not see him coming, for you to not see her coming. So it's never going to be a I'm walking up to you with a knife. It's never going to be I'm walking up to you and I'm getting ready to, punch you or fight you or whatever. They're always going to come behind your back. They're always going to do it when your guard is down. They're always going to do it when you're not thinking about it. So for us that are extremely, and I do mean extremely spiritually aware, we already are preparing ourselves for the potential betrayal. And sometimes, because if people do not understand what this particular walk is like, it's going to sound negative to some people. When you hear chosen ones speak about certain things, when we talk about situations from our past that are probably very, very they probably correlate to what's going on within our present or potentially even our future. We like chosen ones for real. At the end of the day, we are some of the most positive people and some of the most loyal people that people will ever come across in this life. But a lot of our loyalty and a lot of our kindness and a lot of our our good spirited energy, it gets taken for granted, and it gets taken the wrong way sometimes. Like, people think because we're nice and we're sweet and we're caring, loving, and concerning, and all the positive things you can think of, the majority of people think that we're soft. And it's actually quite the opposite. Chosen ones, we're very nice because we're not pretending, we're not playing a game, we're not trying to be something that we're not. This is how we authentically are. But it is when, like I said in another video, it is when you cross us where you will see a side of us that you never seen before. You will see a side of a chosen one when you betray them that you have never seen before. And I'm not even talking about the back and forth energy. I'm talking about, you think that you thought you knew a person, cross a chosen one. Cross one of us and think that your life will still be the same. I mean, you can put on the show. Let the sideshow begin. You can put on the show, but you deep down know that your life, because of what you did to that chosen one, your life will not and has not been the same since. And people can front for the ground, front for social media. Everybody, smiles. We Paul Lawrence Dunbar, we wear the mask. Everybody wearing masks these days. But people know when they have wronged someone, and they know when they receive and they begin to start receiving a certain level of bad karma. They know exactly where that came from. They know exactly where it came from. So I don't expect, because I look when chosen ones speak about certain things in a contextual way, we're talking about things that we've already experienced. We are talking about things that we've already gone through. And the nerve of certain people that may even know of our past, might have been made aware of things that we've gone through and been through in our past. The nerve of many of people that will come around, hear our stories, hear our testimonies, and think that you can move the same way that this said person moved or that said person moved. People don't understand there is a setup to it. There is a setup to it that chosen ones we pay attention to. We pay attention to the fact that we get studied. We pay attention to the fact that people, will begin to do things the way we do. Wear things the way we wear, dress the way we wear, as far as how we wear our clothes. We pay attention. And then some people might, want to say, "Oh, you should be flattered." No, because with chosen ones, that is the initiation. That is the initiation to the attack. When people start doing that with us, now other people, it may not be that way. Other people, it probably is extreme flattery, and it probably is, oh, that you should take that as a compliment. But no, what happens is people start to realize that every time a chosen one is moving, like we're constantly elevating in our movement, we constantly elevate. So after a while, when people are down here on this level and they're starting to watch and pay attention to us on this level and do what we're doing on this level, study what we're doing on this level, they realize that, oh, they didn't move to another level. And people will begin to, for whatever reason, people will begin to resent us secretly, not outwardly right away. They will begin to resent us secretly because they feel like we think we're perfect. They feel like we think we're all of that. They feel like we think that we better than everybody. And it's like, no, chosen ones, we're constantly seeking elevation in our lives. We're constantly seeking areas and places and spaces in our lives where we can grow, where we can get better than what we were the day before. So we know that there are situations that there are times when people just will not understand that, and they will come around us, they will siphon our energy, they will want to be in our presence. They will want to be in our presence. But after a while, they will get tired of our presence, because our presence is just what most of you hear us chosen ones say. Our presence is the light. And people do not like people that have harboring dark energy, or may not even be all the way dark. They get tired of the light always shining. They get tired of you always being the one receiving the compliments, or being the one that's asked, that people ask, hey, you seen them, or I ain't seen them in a while, how they doing, or people ask about you in your absence, different things like that. You will be surprised. You will be surprised. I have been through this, and see, this is the thing that trips you out with people. People think that when chosen ones wake up to who we are, people think that it's because of the destination and where we are now. I was born in Memphis, Tennessee, raised in Norfolk, Virginia, went to school in Los Angeles, California, am living now in Houston, Texas. All of this stuff that people be talking about, and me specifically, this stuff did not just start in Houston. This stuff did not just start here. So when we talk a certain way, we know the tricks of the enemy, because we've experienced in our we have experienced it in our previous locations, our previous parts of our lives. We've already been there, done that. So for people that think that what we're dealing with is a means as to, oh, I hope she ain't talking about me because you're around now and this one is around now, and it's not always about y'all. We're talking about how to process things we've already been through, and then on top of things we've already been through, stuff that we're dealing with currently. So we know how to maneuver with the present. We know how to maneuver with the present. You understand? See, chosen ones, when we realize what time it is with people, and we realize what it is spiritually, because we don't see people just face to face. When people start moving shady and janky, we know what spirits are on you, even if we don't know the names yet. Even if some of us are not that deep in our spiritual walk to know the names of the spirits. Like I just found out, just me being transparent, I just found out about the Leviathan spirit. I didn't know about that spirit. I had no idea what that spirit was until I started my consecration in January of this year, 2026. The pastor that I did it up under, Pastor Siobhan Smith, shout out to her, out of Dallas, by way of Chesapeake, Virginia, where I'm originally from, and where our son actually goes to school now, Arlington. I know that when people start moving a certain way, now I know what the spirit is on people. Now I know a name. Now I know the name for it. Now I have a name for it. I know what to call it. Before I just did not understand. And I still don't understand. Because we get shape shifted on so many times that we learn to guard our heart and protect our energy, because we know that down here, nobody else is really going to understand the level of attacks that we get, because a lot of it is spiritual. It's not somebody coming cussing us out, fussing us out. It's not somebody in our face with a finger and doing. It's not that. Now we've had that before. We've been through foolishness like that before. But the majority of the attacks that chosen ones deal with and go through, they don't have anything to do with the physical. They're always 9 times out of 10, actually, excuse me, 9.5 out of 10, they're always spiritual. They're always spiritual. And when you love people and you have loved ones around that are not seers the way you do, you don't try to, you know, trump them with your gifts, but you try to make them aware so they will understand, and so you can be on one accord and be on the same page. But when people are almost determined to just not want to see what you're talking about, because sometimes people don't like who the one that was bestowed the gifts, they don't like who the messenger is in some of these situations, people will intentionally try their best to just not understand what it is that you're saying. And as chosen ones, that's why we're outwardly speaking as bold as we are, because we all are like oozing to the forefront of this thing. We all are getting to the point now where God has released us. God has made us step in as his mouthpiece, and he has released us to speak the way that we are. There's no coincidence that a lot of these videos that you all may watch and people may see, that we all are talking about the same thing. And I promise you, there have been videos that I have made a day or two before some of the other chosen one people that I follow and rock with online, and they don't know what I've said. I don't know what they're getting ready to say, because they're doing their videos days later, or even vice versa. And we all are saying the same thing. So this is not just we all just out here talking and we just trying to be seen and we just want to be heard. No, we all know exactly what is going on around us. And we try to be the warning and the ear and the eyes for our loved ones, because we're getting to a point where this world is shifting in a way where you can feel the energy that we're approaching the last days. And for the ones that are seers, our loved ones, we're trying our best to get y'all to understand that, hey, this is how we got to start moving, because the enemy is about to really, really start cutting up, ramping up, and just doing more than the typical of what would normally be done, because he's trying to take people with him. So when we see certain things on people, we, at the end of the day, truth be told, we really know that it's not y'all. We know it's not y'all. But at the same time, because y'all are obviously in the flesh, we're in the flesh, we're going to have to speak to y'all. Excuse me, y'all. We're going to have to speak to y'all, and we speak to y'all because we're speaking to that spirit on y'all that is trying to cause discord, dysfunction, and confusion. But what happens is, after a while, as chosen ones, when we realize that the people closest to us don't want to understand what we're saying, don't want to appreciate us for who we are, don't want to appreciate our gifts, take us for granted, take our energy for granted, what we do is we retreat and we pull back. We don't get mad. We don't try to argue and get people to see things our way, because there's never and never has been what this is about, because it's about God at the end of the day, ultimately. But we begin to pull ourselves away and pull back, because we know that we've realized that certain people are just never going to get it. They're just never going to understand. And we waste so much of our precious energy, which is extremely valuable. It's extremely precious. If you happen to have a chosen one within your life, within your arm's reach, you're blessed beyond measure that it's not even funny. And see, sometimes people, when you have something so priceless near you and next to you and around you, because it's so close, you don't realize how precious it is, because it's just that close. So you take it for granted. You think that if you go out here and you fumble this one, that you just gonna get another one, and that just don't happen like that. You will spend the rest of your life trying to find him or her again. And what's gonna happen is you're going to resent the person that you're with, because everything that person does, you're going to be comparing it to the one that you fumbled. And for many of us, we allow people to fumble us. We just allow it to happen. We're not even worried about it. We just going to let y'all run with the ball. We just let you run with the ball because we realize that it's no point in trying to chase after people that don't want to understand who we are and what we're really trying to do, that we don't mean any harm. We're not trying to control. We're not trying to be messy. We're not trying to cause confusion. We're not trying to be manipulative. We see what you don't. We see what you don't. There's almost I can count like there is not one time. There is not one time that I have not gone through something in my life where God did not send a warning and it did happen. There has not been one time. Not. And I wish people don't be understanding how you be wishing that you be wrong. You be wanting wrong about certain situations on people, with people, of people. You be wanting to be so wrong. And it's like God is like, no, I gave you that gift for a reason. You ain't wrong. You right. But he prepares us on how to handle and deal with the betrayal. See, in the beginning, when we realized who we was as chosen ones, it was very difficult. And it was hard for us because we did not know how to handle the betrayals that we went through because they were so gut-wrenching. They were so blindsiding. They were so hurtful. They were so damaging to the point where we had to really pray about God not hardening our hearts as far as how we move forward in our future with other people, because we know everybody's not against us and everybody's not like that. But for some reason, and it's nothing but how strong and how powerful we are and how strong and powerful our gifts are. That's really all it is. That's really all it is at the end of the day. We always, for whatever reason, end up dealing with the same level of attacks at some point in our lives with people that we thought really, really rocked with us, loved us, cared about us. And God be like, nope, you thought you had a friend. You thought, no. So that's why chosen ones, when we realize what it is with people, we don't wait on closure. We don't wait on for apologies. We don't wait on people to realize that they fumbled us. We don't even worry about it, because a lot of the closure that many of y'all need to realize that you're going to get is just simply closing that door. Like closing up a bag of chips. It's just that simple. You're going to have to close the door, close up the bag of chips, close up the carton of juice, carton of milk, and just be done with it. You're not going to get any understanding as to why you were betrayed the way you were. You're not going to get any understanding as to why you were talked about the way you were talked about. You're not going to get that, because that's not the job of the enemy. He's not going to give you, oh, I did this because I was jealous, or I was coveting. You're not going to get that from people. That's a waste of time. So what it is once you realize what's going on with people around you, you learn how to process that and you move accordingly. You start, relinquishing how much energy you get and dish out. It's about reciprocity. If I can't operate with you in a certain way, and if I can't be around you with a certain level of energy, and if I gotta watch this and watch that, and I know you here, there, and you still with this and doing that, and around this one and around, I cannot really give to you wholeheartedly who I am, because I can't trust you. I cannot trust you to not do what they did, because people don't understand. I'm about to wrap this up. People do not understand. I wish people would really, really get this, how strong the spirit of transfer is, that it is very easy to become compromised out here. When you're still steady hanging around certain sad energy, that don't mean you no good. That's seemingly dark, that's negative, that's gossipy, that's coveting, that pretends like they want everybody to win, and pretends like they happy for this one and happy for that one. That stuff don't mean nothing. I have had people close to me in previous years that I don't deal with anymore personally. I don't really care how people perceive and take what I'm saying, and oh Lord, you talking about me? People are always scared and nervous if you're talking about them. I have had people in previous years. I have had people that I know of, period, that have hearted stuff of mine, and they have stabbed me in the back. So you can heart this, you can like this, you can do this, you can do that, you can, whatever the case may be. It's funny because when you make these videos, as chosen ones, when we make these videos, we rarely get a share. We rarely get a heart on those. Rarely get any comments, and we barely get any interaction while we're actually live. And you know people be knowing you live, and you know people are watching you. And you know people gonna watch. Like I said before, people will see you live, and they'll, because they don't want you to know you're being watched, they'll come back and they'll click on and watch later. Chosen ones, we know the game. We know the game. Because we watch and pay attention to how people start moving around us. Everybody tells on themselves how they start moving after the fact. We are extremely, 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 extremely wise. And we're wise enough to not tell you that we know what's on you and what we see on you, and we know what's up. We're wise enough to keep that to ourselves. So you don't tell people right away that you know what's going on. You'll be a fool. And as chosen ones, we far from that. We are extremely wise, extremely discerning, and very, very, very much aware of the people that come around us. So, like I always say on my videos, if my videos have touched you in any kind of way, if they have blessed you, my God, in any kind of way, that is always the goal. That's always my mission. That's always my mission, because I'm focused on that. I've been going live almost every day for the past week. Or like, I think I missed maybe a day or two. But I'm not playing this year, because last year, the attacks that happened with me to where I wanted to get back to this and do this, I couldn't even speak. I couldn't even form my energy, get my energy to pick up my phone and do these things. I said, not this year. Because God told me anyway, as well too. This year, I'm gonna carry you through. I don't care who do what. I don't care how people start acting toward. I don't care what's going on. If I'm with you and I ain't left you, I'm gonna need you to stay consistent. And that's what I'm doing. I'm uploading on Facebook, on IG. I'm over here doing a live. Ain't nobody up here actually physically watching me now. Ain't tripping. Ain't tripping. All that'll come. That'll come. The message gonna get out there. God is making sure the chosen one, our messages is getting out. It's getting out. So to all my chosen few, y'all keep doing what it is that y'all do. And like I always say on my videos to wrap it up, thank you for continuing to rock with me. And I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one. Peace.